right candidate is selected. Interviews connect employers with potential employees. A study in New Zealand reported that interviews were used by 100% of organisations. They assist employers in selecting the right person for the right job. It also helps potential employees to present their skills and personality. This training video will go through the steps for managers to conduct a strong employment interview. We will be analysing 2 interview scenarios in which one manager will show the correct principles and another manager showing the incorrect principles.
Recruitment is about identifying and attracting potential employees. Defining the hiring objective from things such as the role to be filled, the number of candidates, job performance, pay rate and time frame will help you sell the role and will help attract the right applicants.
The most crucial aspect in recruitment is the ability of an organisation to attract ideal and desired candidates. So, it is important that before we start the hiring process, we ask ourselves,
what are we looking for?
This is an important question to ask, as knowing and deciding what skills the potential employee needs helps you create relevant interview questions to get the answers you need and make it easier to identify the skills. It also helps the candidate understand the skills and duty that will be required of them to fulfill the role. Requirements, however, should remain objective and be justified as to why they are required. Focus solely on the skills that are needed to perform the job. You should only mention personal characteristics such as age, sex and race if they are requirements for the job. Explaining why each trait is needed for the job ensures there is no breach of the Human Rights Act.
In this scenario, we as managers are collaborating on the skills needed for the role as a marketing manager.
Having another manager gives greater insight and perspective to why certain skills are needed and why other skills are not.
I think the potential employee should have at least 2 years of marketing and leadership experience.
Do you think they need this for the role?
Yeah, because it will definitely help them in the role of a marketing manager.
Great, I'll put it in the requirements. They probably should be under 20, be a girl, have 5 years of experience, and wear makeup every day.
In this scenario, there was uncertainty with what requirements were needed for the role. This is confusing for potential employees looking for the job and could potentially discourage them to apply. It also sets the organisation back as the applicant hired may not reach the specific needs of the role.
The next step in preparing for the hiring process involves how we select potential employees for interviews. Selection is about assessing and choosing the right candidates who will fit well with the organisation, the positions and with future co-workers. Once the job description is complete, the next important step is analysing CVs and screening out those who do not meet the basic requirements.
Once the organisation has identified the most suitable pool of candidates, the next important step is conducting reference checks. Within this process, organisations must be aware that in New Zealand it is not lawful to approach a candidate's current or former employee for a reference without obtaining the candidate's express permission. Reference checks help validate the contents of the candidate's CV. Although this is a popular method utilised in the selection process, organisations must recognise the risks of using this method. For example, there is a tendency for referees to provide more positive statements about candidates. We are now ready to conduct employment interviews.
The rest of this video will focus on this particular selection method and what makes a good and a bad interview.
A principle that managers should consider when conducting employment interviews is the idea of fairness. Unfortunately, discrimination in recruitment processes is still seen today. All selection processes, methods, tests must be fair according to the Human Rights Act and the Employment Relations Act.
According to New Zealand law, the Human Rights Act 1993 prohibits discrimination in selection on the grounds of gender, age, marital status, religious belief, ethical belief, colour, race, ethnicity, disability, political opinion, employment status, family status, and sexual orientation. There are two main types of discrimination.
The first is direct discrimination.
So, how old are you?
I just turned 57.
That won't work for us.
In this situation, the manager has shown direct discrimination against the candidate solely because of their age.
This is an example of direct discrimination as the manager has made an explicit decision not to give this candidate the opportunity to work for the company based on a personal characteristic.
So, I see here on your CV that you've had over 35 years of experience in your field of work. How do you believe the industry has changed over your tenure, and how have you adapted to these changes?
Well,
In this situation, the manager has judged the applicant by their qualifications and skills instead of her age.
the manager has also shown that she wants to understand more about the candidate's worthiness and capabilities to undertake the role based on her past experience and insights to the industry.
Managers should strive for a diverse working environment, as this has been proven to be a competitive advantage for companies when developing relationships and opening up business opportunities.
The second type of discrimination is
Indirect discrimination.
We have found in the electronic sales industry that males tend to have a better understanding and connection with our clients. So, I'm not sure how they would react to a female consultant. How do you think you could handle this?
This is an example of indirect discrimination. The manager has indicated a particular selection method that has an inherent bias against women.
The electronics company have historically been dominated by males. We are looking to diversify our sales team and would like to know what attributes you would bring to our company.
Well, I am able to...
Managers need to ensure fairness in their selection process by ensuring the methods they use do not discriminate against particular groups.
The best interviews are made when both parties feel comfortable. A comfortable environment allows the candidates to truly open up, which in turn gives the manager the best opportunity to understand if the candidate is right for the role. There are many do's and don'ts when it comes to the interview itself.
Managers mustn't make assumptions about a candidate based on particular behaviours, as there may be underlying reasons for their actions, such as culture.
Avoid asking questions regarding personal, sensitive, and inappropriate topics. These may include ethnicity, religion, children, gender, sexuality, and disability.
When selecting the candidate for the job, managers should refer to the original job description. This ensures the selected candidate has the skills and abilities that matches the set criteria for the job, not on a personal bias.
use a consistent script when it comes to interviewing. This ensures all candidates are judged equally, as they are all given the same questions assessing their skills, experience and education. A set script will also make it easier for managers to compare candidates when making their final decision on who to employ.
Consider having a panel of interviewers. Multiple interviewers allows for more input and opinions when it comes to making employment decisions. This avoids discrimination, as one person is no longer the sole decision maker of who they think is best.
Another important principle that needs to be considered when conducting an employment interview is reliability. This principle is concerned with the consistency of the selection method over time, in which interviews should remain consistent across different candidates.
In the following scene, this key principle, reliability, will be applied.
Describe a time you have experienced success in a team environment and how you have learned from this.
Well, at uni we do group projects and videos, and I really like working within groups, so the video was a success and we got an A+.
Describe a time you have experienced success in a team environment and how you have learned from this.
Well, at my previous job, I was working in a team to launch a special product, and we had a few problems, but it was really great and we overcame it together and then had a successful launch.
Great.
In this scene, the manager is engaging in a structured interview method following a behavioural interview format. This interview method follows a specific format in which the interviewer is asking different candidates the same set of pre-arranged standardised questions. This method is most effective as it allows for easier comparisons to be made between different job applicants.
The behavioural interview format is also used to analyse candidates specific to their competence of working in a team. The type of interview format will vary between the different jobs, but it is important that the interview questions are relevant and designed to that particular job.
The next interview will now show a different manager using an unstructured interview method.
So, I don't really have any specific questions for you, but just, tell me something about yourself.
I'm a hard worker.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good, yeah.
What have you been up to? Have you gone out lately?
In this scene, the manager is engaging in an unstructured interview method. This interview method is very informal and has no existing format. This interview method can be considered unreliable with inconsistent questions that do not provide equal opportunity for all candidates. This interview method may also be subject to interviewer bias.
It is evident that a structured interview method should be utilised. Lastly, managers and assessors need to be aware of inter-rater reliability. This is concerned with consistent ratings between different assessors. It is common for numerous people to be involved in the selection process. It is therefore vital that the same criteria and rating scales is followed by all assessors involved.